Hello and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a bit of a possibly longer video because all of these are kind of connected. So I have packages from Amazon, I have a package off eBay from Japan, and I have birthday presents to show you. Okay, there's that. There's a packing slip and sticky tape. Rubbish, don't need them. Okay, and then there's this one. Ooh, hang on, let me do this off camera. Oh, I can't do it off camera. Right, okay. You're going to get the reveal there. And then there's this little luxury item. Okay. Now with this latest batch of enablement, I can't read Japanese. Okay. I'll have to get Google Translate onto, well, oh, let me show you what this says. Oh, thank you very much for purchasing this item. I'll be glad if you're satisfied with the item. Enjoy yourself with the item and have a nice time with it. If you look for particular items, please let me know by email. I'll do my best to find your particular item. Happy if you can leave positive feedback, as eBay does. Facebook.com, everyone's art. Please email me if you want to buy many of them. I will give you a discount. If you find anything you want, feel free to contact me. And Japanese anime stuff. Anyway, short story. It's a Copic Chow marker. I got it in red because I wasn't sure how this would go. So we've got the brush tip, super brush, and we've got medium broad. I don't know how these are going to go as coloring markers. Maybe that red end will be okay. But, oh, this is actually called lipstick orange. It's a red 17, R17. Nothing on the lids. This is my very first Copic marker. Don't know what to expect with those. Alright, yeah, with my okay, where am I at? Enablers on YouTube. Mrs. Coffee, you know you're one. She started doing the colouring, Stitcherista started doing the colouring, everybody started doing the colouring, and I thought, oh, I haven't coloured since I was a kid, and I felt like I did such a bad job back then with my Crayola, no, not Crayola. I had a marker set, they call them Textas in Australia. I had a marker set with pretty good make of marker sets, and I did lots and lots of colouring as a kid, but I never felt I was very good. And I was never taught how to colour either. So I'm embarking on this as an adult and I'm absolutely petrified. These are some books that I got because I thought, if I'm going to go all out, let's go all out. So these are by Bennett Klein, and these are grayscale images. Now these are Colour My Sketchbooks 2 and 3. I think I've got one in transit still. I thought I bought one, maybe not. So let me do a flip through. You seem so far away on camera there. There you go, there's a mandarin duck on somebody's head. I got a rhinestone kit today, and the rhinestone that was big would fit right there in that middle. Oh, golly. I don't know what the artist is. I know there's a bunch of artwork around with the dogs' heads as people's heads. That's really cool. It reminds me of a cross between there was one of those great train movies, and then the squid thing being Davy Crockett. Horse in hair. Dragon. More gem. Oh, that is gorgeous. I love that. Tiger and feathers. These are a real odd mix. Like this one, the paper seems quite thin too, so I will definitely need a backing page. So you've got the mix of India with the tiger and the feathers being Indian, American. Elephant, and that looks like a mountain lion. No, deer for a head. Lots of parrots and hummingbird. I don't know. Some kind of wolf-ish? Wolfpack would correct me on this because the ears aren't pointy enough. But roosters. Gorilla and baboon and crane. Tulips in a hat and butterflies. More gems! See, my problem is I would want these to look kind of realistic, and I struggle to let go of what's not real for imagination and have weird colour schemes. More gems. Hawks or eagles and leopard. Mermaid. Oh, those fish look amazing. They're gorgeous gold. So you've got a stoat and a cobra and a knight. A very simple mandala. More gems. More heads. More feathers. Oh wow, seahorse butterflies. That's really cool. Gosh. I don't know if Bennett Klein is a tattoo artist. These are the kind of things that you would get as tattoos. Thank you. 30 years of design and illustration. And that's Colour My Sketchbook. Let's just put it at the bottom. Another 25 in book 3. 2014 began uploading sketches to Facebook. Colorist started colouring them, and I was fascinated to see their interpretations of his drawings. And he signed. So these are different again. More gems. Now these have names. So this is a dragon and peacock. What does he call it? A pea dragon. That's really cool. Oh wow. It's a raven and fairy, and it's a crow fairy. I'm gonna need the titles. Sorry. The next one is an octoclock. Oh, look at those teeth! Oh my goodness. Giraffe, water buffalo. It's called Mixed Marriage. Okay. Oh, I love... These are my favourite. Monstera deliciosa. A bush Bengal, this is called. Swiss cheese plant. I have one right behind the camera. My favourite, I had one for years when I was in Ireland. Absolutely loved it. Used to talk to it at night and stroke its leaves. And it did really well. It's a vexed vixen with a bee on her snout. Okay, it's a dragon angel. It's a grinning gargoyle. No, hang on, is that correct? The Guardian, it's called. This could be the grinning gargoyle. I visited Chester once and was absolutely fascinated. Englishers, you'd all know this. Chester is the most gorgeous town. It's black and white buildings in I can't think of as a Tudor. Excuse me. The black and white buildings in the distinctive colours, but the gargoyles on the buildings were just everywhere, and they were absolutely fascinating. Look, it's David Jones. It is possibly Bestial Beauty. Wolf Mandala. Icarus iguana. Oh, Icarus, who flew too close to the sun. Ooh, it's an owl. That's really kind of cute. Wise woodcut. Yeah, it does look like a wood carving. That's interesting, because knowing it's a wood carving, wise woodcut, I may actually do that in brown tones rather than owl tones. I might do some greens through it because you can get green dyes. Yeah, interesting. Gargoyle mandala. The Chinese dragons. Oh, that's gorgeous. See, wildlife. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's what I want. Mousy steed. Maybe wildlife is more my drawing style, or flowers, perhaps. Although I do have some hair ones, people faces coming through. Penguins and fairy. Fairy frolic. No, this is penguin prance. And this one would be fairy frolic. Good golly. Dragon gargoyle. Heraldic Hanya. Hanya? Yeah, Hanya. Heraldic Hanya. Oh wow. The hats. And a crane. And a suit. Many hats. The suit's quite specky. Birds. Now I know somebody who collects skulls over in Scotland. It's an eternal owlet. That's really gorgeous. I love that. So we've got the mountain goats. There is a name for them. Eagle mountain. Mountain goats and eagle, and they're not mountain goat horns. They're deer horns. Or antlers even. A bunch of flowers for a head and a bee. Beatrice bee. And Griffin's ghost. There you go. Alright, so this is Bennett Klein. So welcome to my hive. Joanna Basford, World of Flowers. Joanna possibly has one that Stitcherista might have recommended. One of my concerns with buying these is the quality of the paper. So with Bennett Klein, the paper's really, really thin. It will bleed through. This paper is really thick. It's actually more like cardstock for Joanna Basford. And look at this. It opens up and continues. Now these are more colors, just block. Not block, but yeah, it's not a grayscale book. Tips for colouring. Pencils are more versatile medium for colouring. You can blend and layer them. Pens are also vibrant but less forgiving. If using pens, try them on a colour palette test page, which I'll get to. Always slip a sheet or two of blank paper between the page you're working on, as it acts as a cushion and prevent indentation or transfer of ink. For colour inspiration, you could visit a garden or garden centre, look at photographs on Pinterest. See, this is the thing, I would like to do that, so that I kind of know what nature does the colour schemes of. And then for colour tutorials, go to joannabasford.com. That's really cool. So I'm not going to go through every page on this because it's got a heap. It's a busy, busy book, even though the pages are quite thick. So I will scan. And these are double-sided, so it could be that they're going to bleed through. Anyway, I love those. So you've got things like, hang on. Asparagus and wildflowers. I've actually watercolored one of those that I watercolored from scratch. Hydrangea, lily. It's kind of like a foxglove, but not quite. Oh, these are gorgeous. They're quite small though. And we'll get to my mediums shortly. I don't know how I'm going to go with these. The bits are quite small. Now, somebody else I was watching do colouring photocopied the page that they were colouring. It may have been Stitcherista, it may have been somebody else. Photocopied the page they were colouring and wrote in the colour that they were going to do each thing. I thought that's a really interesting thing to do. These are quite intricate. I don't know how I'm gonna go with those, but they're some really, really pretty. Ooh, beetles. That's cool. It's like a gingerbread house. That's kind of cool. And they got flowers on them. Ah, cool. And more flowers. Alright. And then the pièce de résistance. Do you see what it is yet? There's not many in it. It's quite a thin book. I got Mandy's book once upon a time. It was linked somewhere, and I was reminded of it, and I went back and I actually bought it. May have seen Mandy talk about it or something. So it's dedicated to all you amazing supporters who believed in a goofball who liked to draw on herself. Okay, so these are written on too. And these are based on our DAC things. So I've got C Melody, very thin pages. Like I can actually see through the page, not just to the image on this page, but the image to this page. So I can expect bleeding to happen. I don't know all of these names. I know the die-hard ones do. I think this is from I Miss You. Sort of. It looks a bit like I Miss You. Zoomed in. I love the London scene, and I didn't think Mandy was English. Can you see the seahorse among the treasures? So there's a seahorse to find in the treasure. So you've got squid, jellyfish. In amongst the treasure, there is a seahorse. Can I see a seahorse? It's not jumping out at me. Well, unless this is the seahorse. There is C Melody. So I could effectively copy C Melody and use my colors in her image in my own kind of creation. Now, Mandy did her M's. So her M's are here and here, upside down. So that's C Melody. Oh, Princess, Fairy and Mermaid for thee awaken their magic by colouring all three. Okay. Oh, there's a fairy. Oh, wow. That's gorgeous. Think of all the 310 that we don't have to do. A pumpkin. Cinderella. Can you find these hidden creatures in the lady's forest? Look on the next page. So we're looking for these images on this page. So let's see if we can find one. Let's see if we can find the ladybug. There's the butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly. There's the bird, and there's the bird. Alright. And that's Hansel and Gretel. And that's the wolf. Can you find the 8 ladybugs hidden in the fairy's garden on the next page? 8 ladybugs. 1, 2. On the next page. Wow. So that's another kind of version of C Melody, so the colours through that would be incredible. Ladybug, ladybug, ladybug. There's a ladybug. Alright, look how fine this one is. Thank you for joining this adventure with me from Mermaids and Pan to The Princess and the Pea. For now I must bid you a fond adieu, and I will see you again, hopefully in book 2. And that's it. This book was made for you guys. I'm so very honoured and blessed to have such amazing people who support what I do. I hope this colouring book takes you on a fun and whimsical journey. I hope it inspires you, entertains you, and above all, bites you with a creative bug. Again, thank you and have fun. If you have any comments, you can always contact me here, and that's on her Facebook page. And they coloured happily ever after. No, she's American because she's, well, sorry, she might not be American, but she spells American on that book. But yeah, there is C Melody, and the DAC version of C Melody is even more vibrant than that, so it's like, oh, golly. I've seen Mandy do some work on digital art, colouring it in, and it's all kinds of cool. Now, my birthday present. I was either going to have to invest in this myself or have hubby get me a birthday present that I didn't know if I'd be able to use or not, so I asked him to get me some colours. So it came with a swatch book, so it's just a A5 30 sheet book. I got a set of skin tone colours. I don't know how these compare with an Arteza set with the tones involved, but for skin tones, yeah, it's a pretty decent range. I was a bit surprised at the orange. There was an orange, yeah, the terracotta or the light orange in amongst the colours, but hey, some people have bad tans, like certain presidents currently. And then this is 120 pens. These are actually called, sorry, they're not called, they're from Touch New. So Touch New is the people who do the book. These are also Touch New skin color pens. I could get Arteza shipped to me. They will cost something like $281 for the same amount. These were about a third of the price, half the price. They're still expensive. But yeah, these are the pens. Now my plan for these, because these bags are really wussy as all hell, the plan is that I probably incorporate the bag into a box, and by that I mean a deep box. So these pens are yay big. I want a box that probably goes up to about there on them. So when Christmas starts coming around and boxes come back into the dollar stores, I will get a big cube box kind of thing that will hold all of these. I may or may not keep the skin tones separate because they are skin tones and I don't necessarily want to mix skin tones in. These don't have a box at all, so I might get one of my mugs might be able to be recycled once I've got my large one out of the way. Colors, and then you also have these pens, which I had to ask hubby, what are these? Because I didn't necessarily want him divulging links to me because, you know, it's a present. I don't need to know cost. But it's a fine pen. I think it's 2 fine pens. I haven't taken the protective lid off. They're both 0.5 and they both came with one of the sets. I think this is a blender. This one. No, it's not. It may be a biro. It's a 0.8 and it just looks like a ballpoint pen. Let me transition you actually for a second. Where are we? So, nib is protected. If you can hang on, I'm trying to get you. Oh, golly. There, the black behind it. So it's got a protective cover on it, but it's quite fine being 0.5 mil. And then there are some other pens that came on this side. There is a smudge glove which has 2 fingers, and then there is this which is a fine liner, and I think they're both the same from memory. No, that's an 18 and that's a 19, so a little bit different. So it's fine liner. I'll put the accessories all in the same bag. So there you go. I've got colours Oops, there's another pen. This might be the blender. It's a 0.08 again. No, it's just a biro of some kind. There's another biro, another biro. I thought there was a blender in amongst. Here's a blender. Right, okay. There's a colorless blender. Now these tips, sorry, I've been talking as if it's the main camera. That is the fine tip. And it also comes with a broad tip. Now, broad is kind of like one of the permanent board pens. These aren't brush tips, I don't think. They're all broad and they're all fine. So I don't know how I'm going to go with these. The fine tip are probably going to feel more like the tips that I had as a kid. So there's the broad. So for big areas they'd be fine, and then the fine tip for regular areas. And yeah, we'll see how I go. Some of the finer work may need an even finer pen. I do have a set of Sharpies that may work for those kind of things. Again, I'm going to have to swatch. I'm going to have to color mix. They all have the names on each end. The lid is identical, I think. Do they interchange? Yep. They do interchange, so that's kind of handy. And it says the exact same on both ends, so that's kind of nice. And they don't stack, which is what my pens used to do when I was a kid. The good ones used to stack on the back. Yeah, I feel like an absolute rookie. Like, you have no idea how much this actually terrifies me to do. This may be more of a couch project, so I don't know how much I'm going to film. This is kind of an evening kind of, can I do this on the couch? I will occasionally maybe do one for camera, but it wasn't really my intention with my channel to go into colouring. This is just let's see how we go. And to be honest, I want my kids to be creative, so I will encourage my kids to craft and do things like that as well. So yeah, this bag feels a lot fuller. I know it's got my extra pens in it, but yeah, I think just because it's not so sturdy, I might line it actually with cardboard inside. I've got plenty of carton cardboard that I could line it and give it some support until I find my cubes, because it's only the end of September and actually the stores haven't got Christmas stuff in yet, which is quite surprising with the dollar store. I thought they might. So yeah, just sharing my birthday present and the books that I have. I think I've got 2 more from Amazon coming, possibly 3. I may have book 1 from the Bennett Klein series as well coming. So I'll need to go and check my deliveries and check what I've got. I know I got the 2 dot to dots and I got the other book. I think I threw the other package into the shipping box, and I think that was the 2 Bennett Kleins. I thought that maybe it was 1. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I've got more than enough for now. I hope I don't get as addicted to colouring as I did with diamond painting, because that'd be a worry. Alright, thank you for watching, thank you for sharing with my birthday gifts, and I'll put links in for all of this. I think the books are all bought on Amazon. These are bought on Ali. I won't have a link for those. You can look for them yourself with Touch New. I think the store is actually Touch New, potentially, so you can check them out. And yes, I will see you around. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll say goodbye for now. Bye!